Thank you. Deputy Tommy Broughan.
Here, look. Yeah, Minister, I mean, when you look back maybe about 15 years ago, and it was the desire, I think, of all parties in the House. I was communications spokesperson at the time. We were looking at exemplars abroad. I remember, for example, the state of Alberta in Canada, which is about our population, but is, it's a province that's maybe 3-4 times the physical size of the Republic. Now, you said there was something like 16 exemplars that you can give where this rollout took place, and I'd just like to know, I mean, a little bit about that. I mean, how successful it was, and what was the kind of costing there? I mean, again, were other states left maybe holding the baby, as we're fearful that this state will be left in 2023 or 2024 after the rollout by this company. Just ask you secondly, I mean, again, we've all had to upskill, I suppose, in relation to IT and our offices and so on. We're kind of familiar with the fast-changing nature of broadband and website developments and so on and so forth. Now, one of the key points that Secretary-General Watt and his colleagues make, where they say in the redacted letter that technology is changing rapidly, we don't know what new and cheaper technological advances will be made in the coming decades that could make this particular model outdated or even obsolete. Isn't that a huge risk that this country has taken and putting $2.5 billion beside the risk? For example, in 5G, I mean, a number of us heard President Trump, I think it was, talking about rolling out a 5G network for the whole of the continental, I think, United States, and obviously there's the issue that you'll probably refer to, that he's going to have 400,000 masts or whatever at least to try and make this happen. But given that this point that Secretary-General Watt makes about technology is so prescient, it's so important in relation to this, is there therefore not a fundamental case for proceeding with the plan that Deeper has, which is to immediate procurement by DCC-AE, by your department, to the 300 broadband connections, the plan for the broadband connections, the 1,000 locations after that, and in fact, rather, you said you're setting up an office, but I mean, why not just do it directly as your own staff or staff and Deeper seem to be indicating that this would be a better plan. We could watch developments as we go, particularly after maybe 2021, 2022, to see that we do get the best value for money. So, I mean, isn't this something that you're totally preempting, Minister, that the way technology is changing so dramatically? 4G, we're just getting used to or beginning to get into it. 5G coming down. We don't know what other parts of the spectrum, for example, the wireless company are going to utilise. So, in that regard, that's the second point I just wanted to ask you. And well, I'll leave it at those two for now.
Yeah. On the second point, yes, Deeper proposed that they would recommended $1 billion to be spent. They would have reached 127,000, so they would have left 420,000 premises would have been abandoned under their project. So you would have rural Ireland waiting not only for the rollout of that project, those 420,000 would have no prospect of getting service in the rollout. This is exactly, look at what they said. This is the option that they preferred. They also expressed the view that we should go back to what was rejected in 2014, which was to deliver fibre to just 1,100 village points, with again relying on the commercial sector to go beyond that. We did not accept that that would meet the requirements for rural Ireland. On the issue of technology, we have had detailed evaluations both by Comreg and by our own Mason analyst who came in to look at what was the best technology. Every one of the bidders came in with fibre to the premises as being the preferred and optimal technology. That's what's happening in urban Ireland. Air is rolling out fibre to the premises, as are the others in urban Ireland. Fibre is the most future-proofed, and the proof of the pudding is that we provided a minimum 300 megabits as the delivery speed. They will deliver, when they roll out, 150. By year 10, they will have 500 megabits. This is 5 fibre is the best at building capacity to meet new needs in the years ahead. By contrast, 5G and wireless, they depend on line of sight. So that if you can't reach the area, you have to keep building additional mass to get the penetration. They are also shared, so that if more people come on, the capacity is shared and the service to each one is diluted. So these options were analysed in great depth, and that's why we have confidence in the choice that was made both by the 3 bidders who came in, but also evaluating international experience as being the best option for rural Ireland.
Very quickly, yes.
Of the other jurisdictions, Minister, give us the examples of where Granahan McCourt.
What you're referring to is where Granahan McCourt and those who are involved, they have 40 projects and they have 40 billion.
Where though?
I can provide you with that detail, but they have very long experience. They have senior executives drawn from both Irish companies in the telecommunications and international companies. I don't think anyone who looks at the names of the people, the new CEO, the new CTO, so on, who are published, their names are there. I think people will see that they have very strong
information,
CVs.
Minister.
That information has been published.
And by the way, just one very final point: will this House get a chance? Will this House get a chance to approve or disapprove this decision of the government?
We have decided that the government has made a decision that it is a preferred bidder. It's up to the House. I've offered to go to the committee next week, and I hope to convince members of the committee that this is the right decision. That, of course, it's up to the House.
Would you agree that the House should have a say?
Thank you, Deputy Broughan.
Yeah.